Imagine walking through a mansion steeped in rustic charm, a place once owned by a TV icon, only to stumble upon something so eerie, so unnerving, that it chills even the most seasoned investigators to the bone. This isn't a movie plot. This is the true story of a mysterious discovery at the mansion of American Pickers star Mike Wolfe, a man known for turning forgotten treasures into primetime gold. But what the FBI found beneath the second floor of his home was something no one could have predicted. What started as a simple renovation turned into a federal investigation that unveiled secrets stretching back decades. Let's uncover what was buried beneath the floor, and why it's changing everything we thought we knew about Mike Wolfe. In early 2025, residents of Leiper's Fork, Tennessee, were stunned when a fleet of black SUVs pulled up to the gates of Mike Wolfe's historic mansion. The American Pickers star had long been a beloved figure in the area, known for transforming a 19th century church into a breathtaking estate filled with rare Americana. But this wasn't a social call, it was a federal raid. FBI agents operating under a sealed warrant quickly secured the property and headed straight for the second floor. Their mission? To investigate a potential hidden space believed to be beneath Wolfe's private office, formerly a bell tower. Methodically, agents removed the antique floorboards, exposing a layer of concrete beneath the wood, an unusual construction detail that immediately raised flags. This wasn't a random inspection. The search was prompted by a disturbing lead. A worn, leather-bound journal recently turned over to authorities. It had belonged to none other than Frank Fritz, Wolfe's estranged former co-host. To fans, Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz were the perfect team. Passionate, quirky, and deeply committed to preserving history through salvage. But behind the scenes, tension had been growing for years. Fritz's sudden exit from American Pickers in 2022 was blamed on health issues, but sources close to production hinted at something darker. According to his journal, Fritz had grown increasingly uneasy about Wolfe's side activities, specifically his unscheduled stops and nighttime artifact transfers that never appeared in episodes. Fritz noted how Wolfe would frequently divert from planned routes, meet with unknown individuals, and stash certain items away from public view. He started keeping notes, and then, one night in 2021, during a visit to Wolfe's home, he heard something that haunted him for years. As agents pried up the thick wooden planks of Mike Wolfe's second-floor office, they uncovered something truly bizarre. A thin cement layer not found in any renovation permits. Beneath it, a spiral wooden structure emerged, echoing ancient religious architecture. The spiral led to a concealed steel trapdoor buried in the stone foundation. It had no handle and took nearly an hour to force open. When it finally gave way, what lay beneath stunned even the most hardened investigators. A hidden stone chamber, no more than 10 square meters, with a vaulted European-style ceiling. The air was cold, damp, and carried the sharp smell of charred wood. Dozens of rare artifacts lined the walls, sculptures, stone reliefs, and objects bearing museum labels from Europe and Asia. Many were on Interpol's list of stolen cultural items. In the corner, partially hidden under dust and dried blood, lay a framed photo of Frank Fritz from an old American Pickers episode. Above it, scrawled in an unidentified substance, was a chilling double spiral symbol encircling an eye. Experts later confirmed it held ideological significance, likely linked to a secretive belief system. This wasn't just illegal artifact hoarding, it hinted at something much darker. Following the discovery of the hidden chamber, the FBI's focus shifted to the journal that had triggered the investigation. Frank Fritz's personal diary, found in a dusty suitcase in an old warehouse once co-owned by Wolfe and Fritz. The yellowed pages offered a raw, unsettling glimpse into Fritz's final years, before vanishing from the public eye. He wrote of strange experiences during filming, like the night he stayed at Wolfe's house while it was still under renovation. At 3 a.m., he was awakened by eerie whispers and creaking footsteps from above, in what would become Wolfe's office. Wolfe dismissed the incident as just the old floors, but the moment haunted Fritz. As the years passed, Fritz detailed how Wolfe's behavior grew secretive. He described unscheduled detours during filming, mysterious antique pickups, and items that never appeared on the show. Objects often quietly moved overnight. Fritz suspected the show was a front for something far more illicit. The journal ended ominously. "If anything happens to me, this notebook is the reason." Dated July 14, 2022, Just days before Wolfe announced Fritz's official departure from American Pickers, the entry felt like a final warning. The FBI now had more than suspicion. They had testimony. Beneath the floorboards, agents found a layer of cement, unusual for a wooden structure. Cracking it open revealed a steel trapdoor with no handle, sealed into stone. After nearly an hour of work, the team opened it. What lay beneath was a chamber about 10 square meters in size. The walls were stone, the air was thick and cold. There was a faint burnt smell, and the silence was so heavy it seemed to press on the skin. Inside the chamber were dozens of rare artifacts, some tagged with museum labels, others listed by Interpol as missing. Among the items, Eastern European religious sculptures, a double-locked metal box, and a leather map inked in symbols not found in any known database. But the most disturbing discovery was a framed photograph, face down in the dust, spattered with dried blood. It was Frank Fritz, smiling in what appeared to be a production, still from the show. Etched into the wall above the photo was a strange symbol, a double spiral surrounding a single eye. Experts say this symbol does not correspond to any known religious or cultural practice. Some believe it to be an emblem of a secret society involved in artifact trafficking. Even more disturbingly, the symbol appeared again in 3 other locations. On the underside of the trapdoor, on the copper tube found inside the chamber, and, faintly, beneath the surface of Wolfe's own business logo when enhanced digitally. Coincidence? The FBI didn't think so. In the weeks following the discovery, agents seized Wolfe's hard drives. What they found was staggering. Within a folder titled FF 2023 Master, they found AI-generated audio and video files of Frank Fritz, speaking, laughing, even interacting with Wolfe. These weren't clips from the show. They were deepfakes, created with AI tools trained on hundreds of hours of archived footage. Documents showed Wolfe had trademarked Frank Fritz as a media asset, including his voice, gestures, and facial expressions. He planned to use these AI versions in never-before-seen episodes. In essence, Wolfe had erased the real Fritz and replaced him with a synthetic replica. The investigation revealed that Wolfe operated a complex underground artifact trade system. Through shell companies and websites, he sold items featured on the show with forged digital certificates. Provenance data was faked, and prices were adjusted through a proprietary back-end system. Everything appeared legitimate until compared with the items found in the secret chamber. Many matched exactly, proving the whole operation was a front for illicit trade. American Pickers had become more than a TV show. It was camouflage for a black market enterprise that spanned continents. One of the most haunting revelations came when investigators reviewed recent episodes of American Pickers. Fritz had been digitally inserted into at least 5 episodes following his departure, so seamlessly that even dedicated fans didn't notice. His laugh, his pauses, his signature eyebrow raise. It was all fake. The chilling implication? Fritz was no longer needed. The AI version had taken over, and somewhere along the way, the real Frank Fritz vanished. The arrest. In late 2024, Mike Wolfe was arrested at FBI headquarters. He spoke no words, requested no lawyer, and made no public statement. The only thing he ever wrote down was this sentence: "Not everyone deserves to have their memory preserved." He was charged with 12 federal crimes, including trafficking in stolen cultural property, digital identity theft, and commercial fraud. But even after his sentencing, more questions than answers remained. The epilogue. Frank Fritz's family has remained mostly silent, though their lawyer has confirmed an ongoing lawsuit against Wolfe for the unlawful use of Fritz's likeness. And then came one final, chilling twist. Beneath the dust in the basement chamber, directly across from Fritz's photo, agents found a chalk inscription scrawled into the wall. Here everything continues, even when no one is watching. To this day, its author is unknown. The FBI sealed the room, and the artifacts are now in federal custody. Several unnamed individuals tied to Wolfe's business empire are under active investigation. This story isn't just about Mike Wolfe or Frank Fritz. It's a cautionary tale, a reminder that fame, nostalgia, and charm can mask deeper truths. Sometimes the biggest secrets lie just inches below our feet, hidden beneath layers of wood, time, and silence. So, the next time you see a smiling face on screen, ask yourself, how much of what we see is real, and how much has been carefully, quietly constructed? If this story stunned you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you believe really happened to Frank Fritz?